All right, so we got Chandler Kirby here, FLG Alumni. Really excited to talk to him because he's really close to, not just the program, but me personally here because I got a chance to work with Kirb throughout the summer a couple of years back. Nothing but good things to say about Chandler, and I'm really interested in learning a little more about what he's been up to, how everything's going with the program and his team. And before we get into Chandler, because we've got a lot of good stuff to talk about, I just want to give everyone a brief rundown of what FLG Cribs is. Basically, they're going to be video sessions where, we connect with our alumni and kind of just hear their story. It's also a really nice way for our alumni to educate current players going through the recruiting process. So I would like to know a little now, Curb, like what's kind of like your role on the team? Because I know, in high school, players have a specific role. When they get to college, sometimes their role changes for better or worse, depending on how you look at it. For you personally, what would you say like your role is currently as a player on the team?
Yeah, definitely. My role is more of an energy guy. I'm always the one to kind of pick you up if you, let in a goal or if you take a bad shot, if you get beat on defense. So I haven't really seen the field too much, but in other ways, it's kind of gives me an opportunity to get really close with the players themselves, get close with the coaches, see, whatever else I can do to help the team out. And so at this point, I'm really just more of I lead a lot of the celebrations after goals, or I'm always getting all the boys on the sidelines hyped up. Really just trying to do whatever I can to help out the guys on the field, and even the guys off the field.
That's awesome. Do you have any specific memories of, getting the guys on the sideline excited, and did that impact the game, for the better?
Yeah, well, especially last year, one of our biggest games every year is Syracuse, and they came to our house last year, and it was a Tuesday night game. We play them every year on a Tuesday, and last year, we weren't having a great season. It wasn't our best season, even with me. My freshman and sophomore year were definitely a little bit more successful, but last year, we really as a team bought into the Syracuse game, and kind of getting late into the game, we were down a few goals, and I just had a feeling that it was going to all work out in the end, and fought back, tied it up, and then in overtime, another FLG alum, Ryan Matthews, scores the game-winning goal in OT. So it was just really an incredible experience, and something that I'm definitely going to remember for forever.
Cool. I know, like you mentioned, maybe in your guys' eyes, you didn't feel as though, last couple seasons were a success. I think that probably comes because Cornell Lacrosse has such like a rich history. Do you guys feel a little bit of added pressure because of all the success the Cornell teams have had in the past?
Yeah, I would certainly say so. Maybe not so much from an outside perspective, but just us as a team, when we're in the locker room, we always talk about how we really want to get back to the old teams in the past, even, 2013's team, 2009. Getting back to Memorial Day weekend is something that we really strive, and it's one of our main goals of the season. And so it's really, I guess, an internal pressure amongst all the players. We really feel as if we have the talent and the ability to get there, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be we should be playing Memorial Day weekend.
Your first game of the season, you're heading down to play Penn State, Coach Tambroni's team. My question for you, what's the biggest game of the year?
It's definitely up there. It's definitely one of them. We really want to start the season off the right way, on the right foot. And last year, Penn State kind of one-upped us late in the game and ended up beating us on our home field. And that doesn't sit well with us. So it's definitely one of the bigger games of the season, and something that we really have been preparing, practicing really hard, lifting really hard, getting ready for.
I feel like, based on your role on the team that you mentioned a little earlier, coming along with, being the energy guy, being the guy that kind of gets everyone involved and is, kind of plays a huge role in the culture of the team. Do you also play a huge role in like making sure that the freshmen are, involved, especially the guys that maybe aren't going to see time in the spring? Do you do a nice job guiding those guys along and educating them on, what it means to be a Cornell lacrosse player?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. That's one of the biggest things as a team. You really learn going from freshman year all the way up to senior year is that Cornell is really all about the culture. It's really all about the guys that came before you. And the reason Cornell is, such a great place to play is because of the teams that came before you, the storied history. And so we have a bunch of, I guess, just things that we've been doing since day one. Guys that we celebrate, like George Boyardi and even McEnany, the only 2 numbers ever retired at Cornell, just play a big role in kind of how hard we work every day at practice, during workouts. And it's definitely something you have to teach the freshmen. The only thing is I would say it's really more of a all total upperclassmen thing as opposed to just a few guys here and there. But it's definitely really important that we teach these younger guys what it means to be a Cornell lacrosse player so that they can continue teaching it for years to come.
Sure. One thing I'd like to ask, some of our alumni, like what's one thing about Cornell that you don't mind sharing that maybe you can't find on like the cornell.edu website? Selfishly, I want to know a little bit about the traditions that go on at Cornell. So do you mind maybe sharing with us a tradition that most people may not necessarily know about, or maybe only people in the lacrosse world might know about?
Well, one thing kind of outside of lacrosse is Cornell hockey. We have a bunch of friends on the hockey team, and they're really great guys. And every year against Harvard during home games, it's not as prevalent as it used to be, but all the fans used to throw, fish onto the ice during the Harvard game. I don't exactly specifically know why that's a tradition, but that's something that, you don't really find anywhere else. You're not going to go to a Dartmouth hockey game and see dead fish on the ice before and after the game, but it's definitely something that, I think makes Cornell special. And then in terms of lacrosse, we have a bunch of traditions. One of them being Winter Warriors, which really, playing at an Ivy League school, as you know, it's hard because you only have 12 practices in the fall. And then from there, you basically have just team workouts and doing things on your own, trying to get, as much work in outside of class that you possibly can, getting ready for the season. And so what we do as a team is we split everyone up into 4 different teams individually, and then every workout we have some sort of competition between us, between the team that, we go first, second, third, and fourth, obviously, and then the team at the end of the fall that has the most points at the end wins like a T-shirt or, like a hat saying Winter Warrior Champions. And it's really important to us as a team. It really gets, the competition and the to really get better. And in the end, it just makes everyone better. It's really interesting how, if you're running a sprint and there's really no reason to come in first, you might not go as hard. Or, but once you're running against other players and you're competing for, guys behind you, guys next to you, you're really going to give that extra effort. And that's kind of something that we do that we believe brings out the best in every player and makes them better.
That's great. That's a good way to elevate, yourselves, not just as individuals in the off season, but like your team. Even
Exactly.
You're doing stuff that maybe not be lacrosse related, but your stamina is getting a little better because you're competing. You're getting a little stronger just because you're competing. Your brain's getting a little sharper. Yeah, we did something pretty similar in school too, and it always got us going. We enjoyed that. That's exactly cool.
Yeah. And then in the end, it's competition while you're working out, but then at the end of the locker room, you always joke about, hey, I just smoked you in this race, or great job, you definitely beat me in that bench test or something along those lines.
Sure. Absolutely. Awesome, man. Well, obviously a lot of positive stuff going on with you, in school, and I don't mean to rush your life here or look too far ahead, but you mind sharing with us what you're going to be doing after you kind of graduate in the springtime?
Yeah, so right now I have a job at Citibank. I'm going to be doing commercial banking, which is a 2.5-year training program, 6 months of credit college, and then 2 years of basically rotational program. throughout the country. And then from there, who knows, you know?
Cool.
Can't really see too far into the future. Don't really know exactly what I see myself doing for the rest of my life, but I believe it's a good start for a career.
100%. Well, congrats on the position, man. I'm sure you're going to kill it at Citibank.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Last thing I just want to leave with, if you don't mind sharing with, maybe some of the guys that are in high school that might watch this interview here, what's a piece of advice maybe you can leave them with that might help them through their recruiting process?
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest thing is make sure you choose a school that's right for you. Choose a school that, in terms of size, major, and then lacrosse culture, that you feel the most comfortable at, because, lacrosse is a growing sport. It's getting huge. You don't have to go D1, D2, D3. They're absolutely incredible schools. Schools that I was looking at, like Amherst and Williams, where you're going to get an amazing education. And then on top of that, the biggest thing I've learned is it's the guys you go to school with that really make the experience something special. The guys on my team, I go to war with them. It's really a brotherhood, and people that I'm going to be friends with for the rest of my life. And that's something that I know it's hard to really tell once you take an overnight visit, but if you feel comfortable, if you feel the right way when you're at the visit, then it's just going to be the right place for you. And then just always have an open mind throughout the process. You never know where, an opportunity is going to come from, or one opportunity could lead to another. So just really give it your all and have an open mind throughout the entire thing.
Great. That's great advice. I appreciate it, Chandler.
Of course. Thank you.
You mind taking us on a quick tour of your dorm room right there? See what's going on behind you?
Yeah. So I've actually been living off campus this is my 3rd year now. And so this is one of my buddy's rooms. Pretty big decorations. Got to have the Xbox, the TV, the couch. Let's go outside. I think there are a few guys watching a movie right now. So you got, classic college kitchen here. Fridge, standard, pretty basic. You got some boys watching a movie. And then you just got a bunch of other rooms, bathrooms. It's a little dirty at this time. We didn't really prepare for this, but no complaints here. It's definitely cleaner than at other points in time, so nothing too embarrassing.
Cool. Thanks for the tour, Curb. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks a lot, Corey. I really appreciate it, man.
All right, buddy. We'll be in touch here, and good luck this season, man.
Thank you very much. I hope to speak to you guys soon.
Talk soon, my man.
See ya.